My thesis is an exploration of material transformation. Last week, I presented these collages that I had created in response to Aaron Sheriff's work, seen here, as well as these photography concepts that I had had in mind as a response to this Beauties Rephrased series by Darren Harvey Reagan. Over the past week, I continued to explore both of these ideas somewhat separately. As Paul warned, building forms in 3D was not as simple as it was in 2D. Initially, I laid out all of the physical parts on the floor, overlaying them into different combinations and shapes to try and see if an idea would be sparked. As someone from a 2D background with limited knowledge and resources available to me, I just found this frustrating. I switched gears and instead printed out images of my pick and pull parts and began to sort them into categories, eventually cutting them up to collage. Similar to last week, I quickly realized that when it came to making these pieces, less was more. The images I found most interesting were the ones with schisms, slight blips or mishaps that could be read as a simple computer malfunction. This 2D preference, I realized, could help guide me in a 3D translation. I needed to start smaller and just take one part and reconfigure that. I recruited my partner to help with this next part. He has experience working with metal and was able to help me translate my ideas into reality. We used an angle grinder to cut the metal and then later welded them back into one piece. For the first object, I kept it simple, wanting it to appear just slightly off. However, Martin's comment last week about establishing a repeatable process was in the back of my mind. How could I repeat this idea of schisms with multiple parts? Again, I took a simple approach, combining two existing objects with the same circular profile. Once finished, I went quickly to photograph it and immediately noticed how, under hard light, the shadows that were being cast extended the physicality of the objects themselves. This reminded me of Aaron Sheriff's sculpture, Drop Number 3. The elongated shapes of her sculpture hang from a steel rod and are derived from paper scraps created by Aaron, turning what are traditionally viewed as leftovers into, quote, the monumental main attraction. This last statement really resonated with me, as it's exactly what I'd been doing with these parts from Pick and Pull, turning forgotten relics into curious objects. Comparing my object with Sheriff's sculpture got me thinking about the display of both pieces. Initially, I had wanted them to float in space, as if removed from their original function, suspended in time. The discovery of shadow, however, changed my mind. I began playing around with placement and lighting, capturing these images. As with most of my work this semester, this project and these pieces feel more like a start than an end. The process of translating my work between mediums seems endless. Even now, in capturing these images to share with you, have I pushed them back into the two-dimensional realm? This, I believe, is what Darren Harvey Reagan meant when he described things existing in a type of tension, not solely reducible to the medium that you see them in. Thank you.